Okay, hello world. We are going to demo how to do this chart over here. This is a composite chart. It has an area, and beneath it has bars. Plus the bars are stacked, and also have a second component that in this case charts the tweets. This is a Twitter dashboard measuring the engagement of the last tweets. It has a couple other nice features, as the brush we see here. There is a custom tooltip. It has two axes. This one is for the impressions that have a different order of magnitude than the engagement attributes, and this one is for the engagement attributes. The data is dynamic in the sense that with clicks it can be modified, and the data also is grouped by different properties, in this case by day or by tweet. So let's see how we get this done. I'm using Charts. It's a library for React. Very nice, elegant API. I named this. This is named a tweet chart. This is the name of the component, and we can see here that it has either two properties. It can be a dual chart or a line chart. This is the line chart. This is the dual chart. Okay. It's based on the parameter, on a parameter that is passed. To start with the dual chart, it's grabbed in a responsive container. The width is 100%. We are using columns, a grid system, and the height is fixed at 500 pixels. Now, Chart has a native Composite Chart element that allows you to aggregate or compose a number of different charts. In this case, we are using the area and the bar charts. We place the tooltip on top of it. This tooltip, in this sense, it is a custom tooltip defined over here. We are also using a Cartesian grid with a gray color, and we are defining here one x-axis but two y-axis. In this sense, it is vertical. The first is at the left, the second is at the right, and we see that the impressions okay, here the area uses the left grid, while the rest of the bars use the right one. Finally, they have this element called brush, which is drawn in a blue color in here, which allows to select different windows of time. Very nice element. A couple more details before moving on. We see that on the daily charts we have one value, in this case Tuesday, October 6th, has two bar charts. The first is the tweets, that it's at the left, and the second one is the engagement metrics, that it's at the right. We are doing this with a property called stacked ID. In this case, if the property is named tweets, it goes at A, otherwise it goes at B, and that's how we get two different sequences. The color is defined by a utility function, very simple, and the impressions are handled through an area chart. Here we are omitting the impressions from these metrics, since all these metrics are passed as a prop in here. And the data is the tweets that have a defined eTweet data in here, like here. Great. Okay, just a couple more comments. So let's see how we do the tooltips. While it's not completely intuitive, we are iterating through the payload. And first, we set the payload name. In this case, it is the tweet. So let's see. Here, for instance, we say we are adding the whole text, and that is defined on the name property. And then for the rest of the properties, we sort them with some custom sorting. Rather, it's more like a hack than anything else. And we set the color. We see that different properties have different colors. We set the background at white for increased readability. And we modify some names if necessary, and round the values for better readability. This is especially important in the daily stats, since these are not integer values. Now for the line chart, we also use the responsive container. Instead of the composite chart, we are using a more standard chart element. The same, we are reusing the tooltip, also the Cartesian grid. And well, here we are only using one metric. We could very easily use more. And in here we need to make some adjustments for the for when we deal with time metrics or when we do not deal with time metrics. In this case, we are only using time metrics when it is tweets and is not a daily. So in this case, this gives us an aggregate of the tweets. However, this one gives us how the tweets happen. We can see with this chart that at the beginning the tweets were relatively sparse between each other, while at some point the activity started to pick up and were pretty next to each other. Finally, we're passing some start index into here to highlight where it should start. So it's different value for it's just for a better appreciation of the data. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.